So, hi, my name is Andrew Smith. I am the director of bands here at Salem High School. This is my 9th year teaching overall. This is year 7 for me here at Salem. I oversee the Salem Wind Ensemble, Salem Concert Band, the Salem Marching Sun Devils, the Salem Jazz Band, and I also teach guitar level 1 and 2, and I also teach musicianship 1 through 4 through the Visual Performing Arts Academy.
Okay, so my name is Bella. I've been in the Salem Marching Sun Devils for the past 4 years, and for the past 2 years, I was our band's drum major, and kind of served as a leadership um, role model for the other students in the band.
That is confirmed. I am leaving at the end of this school year. I received an opportunity to return to my high school that I attended. My old band director is retiring after 37 years of teaching, and this was one of the opportunities for myself to return to where I grew up and to help create and continue the legacy that Rakowski has shared for the last 37 years.
So I am graduating this year. I've been taking advanced classes throughout my time at Salem, and so I'm graduating with an advanced diploma. And my plan is I just committed to JMU, and I will be going there in the fall for the Honors College program. After high school, when I graduate in June, I am planning to go to college in Harrisonburg. I'm going to go to JMU. And when I know that this is probably coming soon, but and just kind of experience college life, I plan to study modern foreign language because I want to learn more about how language connects people around the world because it's something that I think is really awesome and interesting, and I want to know more about it. And I would love to be able to travel while I'm doing school, and I think that that field of study can open those doors for me. So, yeah.
It's leaving Salem is weird and both positive and negative. I love it here. Uh, I think for me, it's not leaving on a negative note. I know there have been instances of other teachers who might leave for other reasons, but it's going to be bittersweet. I really appreciate all of the students here, all of my colleagues, all of the parent support who've really helped over the last 7 years, even through COVID, have made this program successful the way it has been. It's really, uh, it's a lot of emotions. Sadness is definitely one of them. I'm going to truly miss everybody. I think they all know the answer of who would replace me. I think the students kind of do too. I, for me, I would say Mr. Northerner. He has been uh, my equal partner in success since I started here at Salem. He came in with me day 1 of band camp in 2018, and he has been the one of the biggest support systems I've had here in regards to us like being successful with percussion and drumline, front ensemble, and just really helping the band as a whole, being that extra set of eyes and ears and personality. He knows this program just as well as I do. Uh, and while every staff member, again, I think would appreciate the amount of time, I think when it came to taking over the program, I would appreciate Northerner doing it. But again, every person's going to have uh, their own journey to take, their own destiny. And I know high school band is not Northerner's destiny, but I know for him, marching band is something he truly enjoys, and I could really see him overtaking that.
I think if I had to choose somebody else to be the drum major that wasn't me, I would 100% every single time pick Alina. She was our field commander this year, and the year before, she was our equipment manager. She is such a dedicated and strong-willed individual, someone who I know that going back to the like leaning on people and asking for help, she's someone who I know can be there for me whenever I need it, whether it's for band things or just for in my personal life. She's become one of my closest friends, and I think that she is so determined to make sure that she performs well for her group and make sure that she's there for everyone when they need her to be. And that is a quality in a leader, and also just in people in general, that I think is very, very admirable, and I really love that about her. So I think that she would do an amazing job.
So competitions, there's a high likely chance that we'll be at the same shows. So whether it's, Kickatan's a pretty popular show that happens over in Hampton. If we happen to be at the same competition, then that would be wonderful. I'd love to see everybody. For me, it's another common courtesy rule. It's kind of an unspoken rule where you give the director time and space to develop their own ideologies. It's not in good taste to come back while the new director is trying to set a tone for themselves. You don't want to create any division or boundary between the old director and the new director. It's most directors are friends. I'm sure that I'll be friends with the new director, and I will give them that space. Football games, we'll have our own football schedule, so we'll be busy with that. So it really just depends on how that time opens up. If a homecoming game opens up on a certain time, I would probably say a year or two when I would try to come back. Big anniversary events like the 40th anniversary just happened, 45th and 50th anniversary, I'm sure I would come back and attend. But it just really depends on, how the schedule lines up logistically between both schools.
After I graduate, I'll definitely come back to see how the band grows and changes. One, because my sister is a freshman this year and is in the marching band, but also just because I had plans on coming back before. I know a lot of my friends who are older than me who graduated when I was still in school. They come back and visit every so often, and it's always kind of like a morale boost whenever I see them, and I'm like, oh, they're coming to see us. Like, it's so nice to see that even after you graduate, you can still be connected to something you were once a part of and kind of see how it grows and changes, and I think that's really nice then. So yes, I think that's right.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this question. I've got a non-band one and a band one. I think non-band it's a few of them. One of them is Leadership Workshop. I found the magic that workshop brings to the students who have earned their voice, can collaborate with others of the like mindset, and can succeed when given the opportunity to. So basically, to summarize, we've had, I think this year, alumni and delegates and staff alone, we were over 20 band kids for workshop. And that's such a magical moment to see, students in the program who can take the leadership skills they learn through band and through workshop and can complement each other and use those skills outside both cohorts. I think that's really it's a great opportunity for every kid to learn leadership skills outside of band. I think that every weekend get to enjoy it once a year to come together and again to share that success is great. I think another memory for me, non-band wise, well, I guess it's technically band wise, would be our DC trip that we took last March. That was the first time I was able to have band participate in a trip, just because of getting into COVID, getting out of COVID, reestablishing the base number of students who are interested in going. We were able to join with instrumental and vocal strand and did a large music department trip. I truly enjoyed that weekend. We got to see some great shows. We got to talk about a lot of the nation's history, doing the DC tour, um, seeing shows live. While it might not be ourselves performing, but seeing others perform, I think is something really magical, and I think we can use that inspiration for ourselves so we can make ourselves better. My last memory, this one I've had a conversation with a few times. One of my favorites is when the fall season of marching band, where it's that first day it gets to be cold, and then you get to wear your hoodie for the first time. Those are my favorite. I love hoodie season with marching band because it's out of the hot season. We're no longer hot and sweaty. We actually get to enjoy being comfortable, and it's still prime season. Like mid-October is one of my favorite times of the year, just for that rejuvenation of doing marching band. It's great.
Out of all of the different memories, I think that every year my favorite has to be like band camp. I love something about just like super long days that like by the end everybody's like exhausted, and by the end of the week everybody's delirious and kind of just like out of it. But I think that kind of having that, especially at the beginning of a season when you're introducing new people to your team and kind of also learning how to function without the people who graduated the year before, it's kind of nice to have that as like a connecting like moment for you and the rest of the people in the band, like kind of breaking down those barriers and becoming more comfortable with each other as a team. Like I remember when I was a freshman, I started my first day of school, and I wasn't really that worried because I knew that I had like a large group of people who I already knew and had spent the past 2 weeks with. So just getting to have that time with people before school starts, and then just being able to see really how much progress you can make from Monday on the first week to Friday on the second week. Like over all 4 years that I've been here, there's always been such a substantial change, like in the quality of not only just like the music and the productions that we're putting on, but just like the interactions we're having with each other and the team that we have created. So I think that my favorite memory, I guess, chunk of memories is from marching band camp. Yeah. So yeah, when I was a sophomore, I was the equipment manager for the marching band, which kind of was more of a background role. But then when going from my sophomore to my junior year, I went to our leadership meetings, and we kind of did like a group interview leadership style, or like team building exercise things. And then in order to become the drum major, I had to do an individual audition where I kind of conducted through the year prior an excerpt from the show, the marching show, in order to like show that I could conduct somewhat. And then kind of also did just like more of a personal interview where I just kind of talked about like how I would approach different challenges and like what I would do if things were to go wrong or if things were to go well, like just kind of testing out to see like what kind of leader I would be in a more like heightened sense in the band.
Legacy is, I think, something that's earned, not always just given. I think, being a harsh critic of myself, I think only doing 7 years of being a director is hard to leave a legacy, just because I felt that I could always do more. I know I'm sure that's going to be hard on myself, but if I had to leave any kind of legacy, it's really just, as much as I push enjoyment or this to pursue excellence in everything we do, whether it's music or non-music. I think that's really that pursuit while enjoying music. I think if there's anything that I could leave behind was the chance for students, staff, parents, the community as a whole to see that Salem music is alive and well. And I hope that even with me not being in this position, or any person in their position, you should be able to see that success continue regardless of who's sitting in this chair or whoever is standing on the podium. Excellence is for everybody as long as you put your mind to it. I think that's the kind of legacy I like to leave, is to continue that pursuit of excellence.
That's a very loaded question. Legacy is a big thing. I honestly, this is a question that's very, very difficult, and I think about it when I'm thinking about many different things because I'm really involved in the school. But I think just being someone that if I were to come back and like visit, people would be happy to see me. I think that that's like as simple as I can make it without like talking about it for like 20 million minutes.
Absolutely. I know one of your questions was, what's your favorite show that we produced? Easily this one. I don't want to call it my magnum opus because that means we go downhill from here. That's not what I want to have happen. But I think why this one was our favorite was, as you're learning how to produce shows, you start to learn that you have your own tips and tricks. How you write music, how you write drill, the design team that you have. For example, Northerner and I, we've been designing shows for the last 7 years now, and we have finally, I think, when we brought this show together, we said, this is we really enjoyed writing this show from start to finish. We didn't have as many questions or obstacles in comparison to last few years when we produced. We would say, okay, how do we solve this issue? Or how do we overcome this obstacle in regards to visual or general effect? We knew from start to finish, this show was going to be a complete package. And we loved it. The kids performed it, at a superior level when we received that superior rating. We won multiple awards over the seasons. We felt that both music and visual package were above proficiency, and I think we can continue to push that. Again, even with me not being in this position next year, I think that going back to that pursuit of excellence, we loved that show design, and I think we can continue that mindset.
My favorite show out of the 4 that we did while I was here, I think was this year, the Salem Witch Trials. I think that it was so cohesive in all of its elements, and it like truly like created, like you felt like you were in the like in, I don't want to say the world because like yes, it happened in our world. You really felt immersed in the story, and like even myself, like just watching it every time, I was able to be like transported, and I was like, wow, this really is capturing the different elements that we want it to. And it was so thematic, and I think that the music worked so well, like accomplishing all the different things that we wanted it to. And also our props were really, really cool, and I think that that also added a lot to the story element of it, and just everyone's work all together. And especially this year, we had such a big guard compared to the past 3 years that I've been here, and I think that that really like helped like emphasize the story that we were trying to tell. And I really liked this year's show. It was a good one to end on.
I would have to say my least favorite, though. Least favorite's hard because it's not that I never disliked a show, but I have told myself over the years, if I could go back and rework a lot of these shows, I would do it in a heartbeat. The one that popped in my head most was our 2019 show when we did called Spirit of the Oasis, where it was our desert themed show, and we had an electric violin that was our spirit of the Oasis, and he would play these multiple solos throughout the show. There's a lot of visual and GE design parts that I would definitely do different now, since I've learned those mistakes. And I think honestly that would really move up to the top of all-time favorite shows with the knowledge I have now. Dream show. I get a lot of my inspiration from Drum Corps International, DCI for short, and I try not to copy and paste show ideas. I take a lot of inspiration. For example, our Salem Witch Trials show, a lot of our inspiration came from a corps called the Boston Crusaders when they did the show Wicked Games. So we took a lot of familiar themes and ideas and incorporated it with our own twist. I think if I had an ideal show, I don't think I really have one musically, but I think visually I would love to expand the staging on a more 3D space. So having risers or staircases that could elevate soloists or sectionals, or you could have moments to where you have whole bands could have this position on the field and you have people standing on these props. I would love to explore that more. The biggest constraint would be budget, because when you go for these different risers or staircases, if you will, they cost a lot of money. And while they can be reusable throughout the years, getting that initial payment is a lot. But I think exploring that 3D space and to include on the 3D space, including more sound. I think a conversation I had this past year was there's a new fifth family of marching band: woodwinds, brass, percussion, guard, and sound. Sound is kind of the new pioneer that's in the marching arts, and I would love to continue to explore that more. Some more software programs that our computer could use, some more technology hardware that we could use. Like we have sound effect pads. We used a mallet station this year. I would love to incorporate more of that, just so you can expand your soundscapes throughout your shows.
Any show that I could do, that I could be a part of, I think. I know we joke about it. It's a kind of a running joke in Salem, but I would love to do a pirate show. I think it would be so awesome and so fun, and there's so many different things, like costume-wise and prop-wise and music-wise. There's so many different things to choose from, and I think that would be something that would be so awesome.
When I told them, they all said that they were coming back. So that only comes down to if something else pops up, just because we're still so early before the marching season even starts. We are going to be having a meeting in a couple weeks to start talking plans for transition next year. But as of right now, all staff members have said they're returning. Sure. Selfishly, I think every band director always wishes for more students in the band. It's not trying to play a numbers comparison of I've got more kids than someone else. I think it's wanting to have more students share the same experience that we have. Society puts a lot of stigma on what marching band truly is. We're looked down on as the inferior sport, or the cool. Not any of the cool kids do marching band, which is completely false. I think if we were able to share this opportunity with more students in general, not just Salem or Virginia Beach, I think just in general, more students incorporating themselves in the arts is really what makes us human. And while money talks, and having security in your life is great, what makes us feel, what makes us think, what makes us enjoy life itself is through the arts. So I think really just having some more incorporation in regards to student numbers would be great. But in regards to Salem specifically, honestly, I don't think there's really anything I would want to change. I think we have a really well-established student body. I think, my colleagues and myself have worked really well with each other over the years, providing more opportunity for collaboration. So between band and instrumental strand, I think providing more concerts together, I think would be a great opportunity for the Salem community, and even Virginia Beach as a whole, because of the Academy, really bringing in the influence of the arts. I just think a lot more connectivity throughout all aspects, whether it's vocal, instrumental, band and chorus, even the other clubs, just having some more influence, I think would really make a positive difference.
I feel like not really change, but kind of just make more prominent. It's just like interconnectedness. I think that there's always more that can be done for having different events, like within the school, and especially since our school is the Visual and Performing Arts Academy. I think that even more connection within the other strands and just doing more things together, even though we already I think for public high school, we already do a lot of things that connect a lot of different groups of students, but I think that even just more inclusion with the band in different other places in the school, I think that's always something that we're striving for.
Yeah, so my child Aria, I think the shift really wasn't as tough for me as I expected it to be. My wife is the one who has a busier schedule than I do, since she's currently attending nursing school. She's also working a full-time job. She's finding herself very busy. For me, it's almost kind of gives me a reason to say no to do extra tasks. So as you want to push to do more, of course, the division between home life and work life, I think, is very important for any teacher, and I think I can agree with any student too, is giving your 100% at school is great, but when you're able to separate work from home and to continue that ideology, that's important. So having my child at home gave me more reason to say, I cannot do this because I want to see my family. I want to spend time with my 7-month-old daughter. I want to be able to enjoy those experiences and still be able to participate in the activities that we have here at Salem, what's already been established, like marching band and jazz band, the extracurriculars that we still partake in. We can still succeed there, and I can give 100%, but I can also say I am now away from school and I'm going to go spend time at home. So personally, it's been a pretty easy transition. So I took a break this year just because of my child, but I participate in the Virginia Wind Symphony, which is a wind ensemble consisting of educators, freelance musicians. We have several performers from the Army and Navy School of Music who will come play with us. We have had guest conductors, guest musicians, guest composers who will participate with this group. It's existed for, I want to say, since 1990. I think we're pushing close to 35 years now with Virginia Wind Symphony. I've been participating for almost 10 years. So I actually started before I got my first teaching job. That's my primary performance gig. I have collaborated with other programs on designing their shows. While I haven't written for them, I have given some feedback and critique on how they can make their programs or their show designs better. I've also given back to the district as our district band event chair. So I also help run the actual event. So getting the conductors together, getting the space, working with the host to make sure the space is correct, um, just making sure the overall event is a success. That's one of my bigger jobs outside performing. But Virginia Wind Symphony is my number one.
So other than marching band, I've been in band like regular class since I was in 6th grade. I started playing the tenor saxophone when I was in 6th grade, and that's still my main instrument now. So I play with the Salem Wind Ensemble. Sometimes I play with the I'm not in the academy at our school, but sometimes I do play with the academy orchestra for different concerts. I'm in the Salem's jazz band, and I have been for all 4 years of high school. I'm trying to think. I am in Triam Music Honor Society. I joined when I was a sophomore, and I'm sure there's other things I'm forgetting, but those are the big ones that I do at school. My first show, the first time I ever did it, I will say, like, I had practice throughout, obviously throughout band camp and like through different rehearsals, but like the actual first time that we did it, I remember being very, very nervous, but also like super excited to kind of like see everything come together in like a performance setting, just because like there's like being a part of the band is one thing, but like getting to see it from the other side in like a full like show context is like, it was like so interesting and exciting to me to be able to like see it from a new lens, to kind of switch how I'd been experiencing it for the past 2 years. I would definitely, my biggest piece of advice for the next person who gets to be the drum major is don't underestimate the like power and strength that your team can have when everyone comes together. I think it's so important for you to rely on the people around you, because like there's a reason that your team has been chosen as well as you. Like, you need to make sure that you are taking the opportunity to ask people for help when you need it. Like, everybody needs help sometimes, and that's something that I've had to learn and get more comfortable with, is just not, you don't have to do everything by yourself all the time, and having a good team that you can rely on is something that is really, really important. So don't be afraid to ask other people for help when you need it.
Yeah, I think the big thing is for first off, like say thank you again for doing this. I think this is a great opportunity. I think media outreach is an art that takes a lot of time and dedication, and I appreciate you putting all this together. And I know you sharing previous footage from our past season is really cool that not everyone gets to see. So I appreciate you for doing this. I Of course, I wish all of the students the best of luck in all of their future endeavors, even with next year. I'm really looking forward to meeting the new director and having that transition so they can also be successful. I'm thankful for, again, parents and colleagues who have helped made this program successful. When they say it takes a village, that is a real belief that it's more than one person to make this successful. And I just really appreciate everybody, and I'm going to miss everyone very much. But I look forward to the future years to come.
I don't know, nothing like pertaining to this, but I think kind of just for anybody who ends up watching this that knows me, just know I have a piece of advice for you, and that is to believe in yourself regardless of whatever is thrown your way. I know it sounds cheesy, but when I started high school, I really did not think that I would be the person who I am today. And I think that getting out of my comfort zone, and specifically in marching band, because I feel like that's where I've had the most chances to push myself out of what's normal for me. Take the chances that you don't think you want to, because they will benefit you in the long run. And just, even if you don't feel confident in what you're doing, just pretend that you are, and it'll be okay. And Even if you make mistakes along the way, it will be okay, and you will get through it, and there will always be people there to support you. So I think that's my little like tidbit of advice, is just, you never know what's coming. So it might be good, it might be bad, but no matter what, you're gonna get through it. And I think that you guys are all awesome, and you can do it.
So thank you all so much for joining the channel. Shout out to Michael Cleaver and running the YouTube channel. I'm looking forward to the future success for the Salem program. So thank you very much.